Anyways, what's up, loves? Do we have any newbies? Welcome to Soul Circle. We do this every Tuesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm Sarah Delane, your conscious lifestylist. I would like to give a huge shout out to my dear friend who just launched his book. I know it's backwards on Instagram. YouTube, I don't know if it's backwards either, but my dear friend Shaman Durek, you guys, like, legit. Yes, he's a good friend of mine, and yet at the same time, there is mad wisdom in this book. So please, some of you already know him and already love him. And those of you that don't, please, one, go follow him. And definitely, like, you can get this now. I think before it was like pre-order, it's like officially out now. So let's support our brother who's also like Soul Circle Tribe member. Like, let's make this buddy go like #1 bestseller. Okay. So just huge shout out to him for that. Such a dear soul and amazing, just badass. Love. So please go follow. And then I should put a link or something. It's called Spirit Hacking. Pretty sure you can find it. Shaman Durek. Not follow him. And I'm sure he's got some links on his Instagram page. All right. Loves, guess what we're getting into tonight? So I had my fun little like pre-birthday adventure into Mexico. Amazing. Beautiful. And then I drove back. We drove back, right? Me and my girl, Erica. And then, so I stopped in Phoenix. And of course I can't go to Phoenix and not visit my old stomping ground of Sedona, which I spent like 3 years there. Talk about a vortex. So I went to my favorite crystal store and I got my very own book of Rune. So this is like straight up. I love that it's like the 25th anniversary edition. You guys are the first. This is unopened. This is untouched, at least by us. Runes that we will be doing tonight instead of cards. So for sure, I'm going to do a question. How would you guys feel? How would you feel? You remember how before, if I did like a question and then I used the books, what if I did a question and then threw a rune? Do we love? Do we want hearts? Give me some hearts and give me some yeses if that's a yes. Like, question gets a rune and I will read and / then interpret. No, we're not doing books. We're doing runes. Like, I'm taking the plastic off. Oh my gosh, these are so dope. So if you guys don't know what runes are, you saw me do them in Mexico. There was my girls. Because she's like the only person that I know that has runes. Like, I don't know anybody that has runes. Runes, like, this is like the original alphabet before it got switched into Latin and then, you know, progressed and so on and so forth. So this is like the beginning of our alphabet. And then it's all the book has what each one of the meaning is, right? So this is like before Oracle cards. This is before like any of that stuff. This is like old school, original, legit. And they're like these cool little, they feel dope. They're not super soft. They feel like, they feel like stones, like, you know, but like they got a little, like, can you hear that? They got like a little crisp to them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each one of these out, and it comes with a not so cute baggie that I will probably get another one for, because I want my runes to go in a special little baggie. Okay, so did we get some yeses that we want to do questions with runes? Like sandstone? Probably. Thanks, James. Yes, that's probably exactly what I feel like. I don't know. Yes. Okay. And we got hearts. Oh, there's the more hearts and yeses. Oh, love that. Okay, cool. All right. So whoever puts in their first question will get the first rune, and I'll shake these up and we'll see. And of course, no matter, like, this is what I love about Soul Circle and what I love about doing Q&A is even if one person asks a question, right? And this is what, like, I love, because we do calls, we do group calls in Power of Becoming too, right? And so it's so awesome that like one person could have a question, but then it's going to apply to somebody else as well, right? So no matter what your question is, I want everybody to like sort of find themselves in it. This is the book too. Look how pretty. It's white and gold. I love it. I love it. Okay, so what's up, everybody that just joined on? We are doing ruins tonight. Questions and ruins. Okay. So I don't see any questions yet. What do we got? What are you guys feeling? What is the difference between small talk and big talk? Okay. And yeah, so let's try and keep the questions like general that could apply to like everybody. So yes, I see you're asking like, what am I doing am I doing my mission right? One, there's no right or wrong. So the only thing that I can say is you're in judgment of yourself, right? Let's see. I love all these questions coming in. What's up, Pilar? Hey, baby. Okay, so let's answer that. What is the difference between small talk and big talk? Let's see. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I know the difference. Let's see. Not this one. Okay. It's an upward pointing arrow. That's the difference between small talk. As long as it's going up, as long as it's going in a direction. Oh, thanks, Rune. Works they would like a testimonial. Okay, I'll do that later. Like, I haven't opened this book. Okay, let me find it. Ooh, it is the warrior rune. Okay. Okay, so I don't know these by heart, so I am going to read straight from here. Where are we at? The warrior is the sky god. Okay, so this refers to the question, what's the difference between small talk and and big talk? And I'll just do like a couple sentences for each just so we can kind of like get the gist of it. This is the ruin of the spiritual warrior. Or always the battle of the spiritual warrior is with the self. Finding a will through action, yet unattached to outcomes, remaining mindful that all you can really do is stay out of your own way and let the will of heaven flow through you. These are among the hallmarks of the spiritual warrior. Embodied in this ruin is the energy of discrimination, the sword-like quality that enables you to cut away the old, the dead, and yet with this warrior ruin comes certain knowledge that the universe always has the first move. Patience is a virtue, and it recalls the words of St. Augustine. The reward of patience is patience. So that's the difference between small talk and big talk. One, patience, and it's a process of self. Big talk and small talk is the process of you, like, even though you're having the conversation with somebody else, it's like you're really having a conversation with your own reflection. So what are you diving into within that conversation? What are you hearing about yourself through that conversation? What are you judging about that person in a conversation that is really what you're judging yourself for? How are you showing up in that conversation? Like, do you show up and want like deep dive conversations and like, because that's the type of person you are, or do you just kind of like skim the surface of it? So I get that. I think you're relating that question based on my recent post. So if you guys want more on that, then you can check out, I think it was the one I did yesterday or a couple days ago. Cool. We got hearts on that. And patience, you know, because not everybody is where you're at. So find the vibration of who you want to talk to, right? Releasing fear and all that fun stuff. What's up, everybody on YouTube? Okay. Juliana, thanks for asking the full collective what's in store for us for the next 3 months. Okay, so we'll do that one. I'll do the last three. Runes. Hang on. Let me see. I might do that right now. Let me see what the other questions are. Sorry, guys. I'm behind. Have you ever taken soul drops? No clue. I'm going to just guesstimate that that's a no because I don't know what that is. All right. What is this? Focused on Saturday's Walk for Freedom. Okay. What is this? To raise awareness. Oh, dope. About human trafficking. West Palm Beach here, but it's all over the globe. LA, Sydney, New York City, Africa, Greece, Ukraine. So emotional. Okay, dope. Is there something, babe, can you send me something on that and I'll post it? That would be super, super badass. Like either in your area or like whatever. That's amazing. Love that. So what is that called? Walk for Freedom. Cool. Thanks for posting, babe. That's super awesome. All right. I'm behind. I'm scrolling up. Oh, so for the human trafficking, it's www.A21, so A21.com. They've got all the info for it. Okay, dope. Thanks, love. What about uncovering clues about the cause of childhood trauma? I don't know if I understand that question fully, love. What do you mean about uncovering clues about the cause of childhood trauma? That can be so many different things. All right, hang on. Let me just like refocus. Hi, loves. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Do you guys want me to do the 3 for the next 3 months collectively right now? Yes, please. Okay, dope. And you were saying about childhood trauma in this life or adult life. Oh gosh, but I mean, that can be so many different things. I would say like you can uncover that through hypnosis. You can see how it plays out in their behavior. There's so many, and everybody's different. That's, I appreciate the question, right? Because to a certain extent, we all have trauma, just at varying degrees, and clues for it. You know what, like honestly, if you know somebody who has children that have been like through a deep traumatic experience, I mean, that's what my good friend Erica that I went to Mexico with, that's what she specializes in specifically for children. And she's developed a specific neurosequential model for that. So we've got month 1. Okay, are we starting in, so the next 3 months, are we starting here in October? You guys call it. Are we starting here in October? Or are we starting in November? So the next 3, is it going to be November, December, January? Or is it going to be October, November, December? Like, are we doing the last 3 months of 2019? So that's what's happening. Ooh, 2. Okay. Oh, that one's upside down. Starting November, we've got 1 for November. We've got 1 October, November, December. October, we've got 2. Wrapping up 2019. Okay, copy that. Okay. Oh, and that one's upside down too. Okay. All right. So it is official. We are doing, it's the only little, like, where do I put the baggie? Okay. So it's official. We're doing October, November, and December. Last 3 months of the decade. Exactly. Okay. So for October, this one, I think this is technically upside down. Okay. So if you guys have them, feel free to look it up. Let me find it. Yeah, it's upside down. Hang on, let me just double check that that is legit it. Yes. Mm. Okay. This could be interesting. Very. You guys have some good ideas. I like it. Give me a second. Where is it? Okay. Laguz. Ooh. Flow. Water. That which conducts. All right. I'm going to read the whole thing then. Okay. So we're going like full deep dive. So this is for October. So this is the last, 3 months of the decade. This one is for October. This is flow, water, that which conducts. Unseen powers are active here. Powers that nourish, shape, and connect. I like this already. This is good. Okay. The attributes of this rune are water, fluidity, the ebb and flow of emotions. Come on, emotional mastery. Let's go. Careers and relationships. This rune encourages you to immerse yourself in the experience of living without having to evaluate or understand. That means basically dive in without fear, without whatever you're making it mean, like whatever you think is going to happen or not happen, like dive in. Water, deep end, right? And just like go with the ebb and the flow, like literally like the ocean. I think I got this one when I was in Mexico, right? But the ebb and the flow of the emotion, or of the emotion and ocean, right? And we're at a full moon. So, right, high tide, low tide, let come in, let go out. I love it. Okay. Careers, relationships, emotions, immerse yourself in the experience of living without having to evaluate or understand. It speaks to the satisfaction of emotional needs, to the awakening of the intuitive or the lunar side of your nature. That's feminine. That's all feminine. So we're still being called into the emotion, whether you're a man or woman, doesn't matter. We're still being called into the emotion. We're being called into bringing the awareness to your inner feminine. We've been running such masculine, such in the mind. Mindset, right, is king, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not. Emotion is queen. And technically the queen is the one who owned all the gold anyways. So go there for the riches, metaphorically. Okay. So, and you get your intuitive side, yes, and the lunar side. So follow the moon, the ebb and flow of that. Okay. For, while the sun strives for differentiation, the moon draws us towards union and merging. So that's relationship, but that's also union and merging within yourself as well, and between your own inner masculine and feminine. Shout out to Pair of Becoming. What did we just do? Masculine, feminine integration, right? So just saying that. Okay, this rune often signals a time for cleansing, for reevaluating, reorganizing, realigning, a rune of deep So basically clean your fucking house for the rest of October. Clean out anything. This is like spring cleaning, but in October. Okay, rearranging. And aren't we in Mercury retrograde shadow too? Just to add a tiny bit of astrology into this rune. Okay, so great time for all that. So rune of deep knowing, it may call you to study spiritual matters in readiness for self-transformation. Holla, yes. That's awesome. You can't have self-transformation without understanding emotional mastery. You can't. Like, it's the foundation of your being is your emotions, right? Yes, your subconscious mind and all of that jazz, but like at your core, you cannot have a true deep transformation unless you're accessing true emotional mastery. So this is so on point. Spiritual matters, readiness for self-transformation. Okay. Success now lies in the contacting. I like that they say that. So success now lies in contacting your intuitive wisdom and attuning to your own rhythms. Not anybody else's, Not what your parents say, your friends say, society says, none of that. Like your own rhythm. So you have to get in touch with your feminine and your own like ebb and flow and like what feels good, what doesn't feel good. Like, do you want to move in? Yes. Do you want to go towards that person? Yes. Does there some magnetic pull? Awesome. Don't get stuck in your head of like whatever the past has happened or whatever. If it's pulling you, then go with it. If it's pushing you, then go away from it, right? Go with the ebb and flow. But you have to get in touch with your intuition and your emotions in order to do that. Okay, so tuning to your own rhythms. A rune of self-relating rightly to the self. It signifies what alchemists call conjunctio or sacred marriage. Erica, I would like to, we talked about this, okay? So I don't think she's on right now. We talked about this aspect of like marrying yourself, right? Like creating that union within yourself and marrying yourself. So it's that ultimate, that integration. So you're becoming whole and complete before you go and marry anybody else. And even if you already got married, it's like you have to remember the union with you before the union with anybody else. That's sacred marriage. So in fairy tales, it is the end where the hero and the heroine live happily ever after. That's if we were, creating that fantasy and all of that stuff. Okay. Keep in mind the counsel against overreach and excessive striving. So here's just like the little extra awareness of it, right? So counsel against overreach and excessive striving, drawing flow, or drawing this rune is also a warning against exceeding your own strengths or operating beyond the power you have funded to date in your life. So basically, don't burn yourself out. Like if you're not balanced with the ebb and the flow and you're just like hitting the gas all the time and just going towards what you think that you want and going just towards what your will and your mind is telling you what you should do or what you think that you shouldn't be doing, right? Then you're not honoring that like balance and that ebb and flow, right? So it's telling you to be mindful of that. It also indicates, or to be mindful of, failure to draw upon the wisdom of instinct. That's super, super, really important. So we need more levels of discernment, right? Like instinct, discernment, being able to truly trust and know like what is right for you. Whether that person is like right for you or whether it's like weird energy and then honoring that and not trying to make something, fit, right? Honoring yourself, right? You tell other people how to treat you by what you tolerate and what you don't tolerate. Sometimes silence is the best communication. Failure to draw upon the wisdom, of instinct, right? So trust your instincts on that and what it's telling you, right? Whatever situation for you, right? So is this resonating with you guys? Is this connecting? And can you apply this to what's going on for you for the month of October? As a result, the intuitive side of your nature may be leaving you out of balance. Okay, what did I just say? What is called for now is to go within to honor the receptive side of your warrior nature, right? So you've been too much out. So it's telling you to be mindful that if you've been too much out, you haven't been able to receive in. So you haven't been ebb and flowing. You've just been ebbing and there hasn't been any like flow, right? That's balance. Come on. 5 planets in Libra over here. Like, I feel like I am constantly reminded and learning balance over again in every situation. Okay. So that was October. Does that resonate? We got hearts on that? Yes. Okay, cool. Are we ready, darlings, for November? Okay. Is that the right one? Hold the phone. Wait, there's 2. Yo, am I tripping? That looks like identical. Oh, copy that. Okay. 95. Guess what this one says for November? Who wants to see if they can call it? I don't know if you guys are going to be able to, but November, what's up? Exactly. How many days do we have until November? All right, loves, let's see. And this one, I don't think there's any way for this one to be upside down. No, there's not. Oh, I didn't show it to you. It's an X. X marks the spot, not your X. Okay. However, this rune, partnerships, a gift. Oh boy, here we go. Drawing this rune. This is November. Okay. Partnerships, a gift. Drawing this rune is an indication that partnership is in some form is at hand. Make that meaning what you want, right? That it didn't read that. I said that. In love relationships, in business matters, in partnering of any kind, you are put on notice. Not, I'm going to read this slowly. You are put on notice to not collapse yourself into that union. Don't lose yourself, babes. Don't lose yourself. Have relationships. It's not saying don't have relationships, okay? Do not collapse yourself into that union. So whether you're single or in a committed relationship, okay? For true partnership is achieved only by separate and whole beings who retain their separateness even as they unite. Thank you. Thank you. I fucking love these runes. This is what we've been talking about Power Becoming all week. This is the definition of like union within and integrating within so that you can be whole and complete. Pretty sure my post was a lot about that even today. This is so accurate. This is for November though, so we're precogging a little, okay? The old, like having the other somebody else come in and complete you, like you have to get to that version of whole and complete. I know we've all been saying this for so long, right? But we're not going into 2020 with the old concepts that you're a half looking for another whole, that you're looking for your twin flame. It's finding that twin flame within, that sacred union, that marriage within, and then you get to come into a partnership where you're not fucking codependent with each other anymore. You get to actually like create some badass, like amazing, like stuff where you're not just projecting your stuff, like, right? Like, oh, we're over it. We're so over it. We want divine, like badass partnerships. Everybody, whether you're awakened or not awakened, I truly believe that this is like a collective energy where everyone is like, hey, there's something better. There's something new, right? Not new. Technically, we're all just remembering how to do it. It's not new at all. Okay. I think you guys all know that. Okay. Okay. So do not lose yourself in it, which also, side note, like get in touch with your purpose. If you're getting lost in relationships, it's because you're not aligned with your true divine purpose. And then you put all of your focus into the relationship, right? So that's got to be like super, super key. Okay. This is good. This is November. For true partnership is achieved only by separate and whole beings who retain their separateness even as they unite. Love that. Remember to let the winds of heaven dance between you. Oh, that's hot. That's fucking hot. I like that. At the same time, there is another aspect of partnership that you are being called to consider. For the path of partnership can lead you to the realization of a still greater union. Okay. Come on, Rune, Gebo, let's go. Greater union, a union with, of course, the higher self. Like, duh. Union with the divine. If you're not in union with that, there is no way that you're going to be able to create a divine union person, whether it's romantic, business, friendship, whatever, right? Like if you don't have some sort of like open channel and connection on your own sovereign way, right? No using other substances to like skyrocket there, like finding your divine way there. The level at which you can do that is the level at which you can connect with another. Just being real. Okay, higher self, union with the divine. The ultimate gift of this Rune is the realization of the divine in all things. God always enters into equal partnerships. Love that. Gebo or Jibo, I don't know. The Rune of partnership has no reverse, for it signifies the gift of freedom from which flow all other gifts. So it has no reverse, and it signifies the gift of freedom from which all flow other gifts. And you know what I love? The fact that it's an X too, is because this is the downward pointing triangle and the upward pointing triangle, which is the merge of the masculine and the feminine, technically before it turns into a Merkaba, right? So this is like this cross. It's the other reason why the Egyptians used to like cross over this way, because it created the downward and the upward. So the downward is the feminine and the upward pointing is the masculine. I love that. So that's literally like the divine union coming into balance right in the center. Is this resonating for November for you guys? So November, it's all about partnerships, but creating that partnership with yourself, your union before anybody else, and that partnership with the higher aspect, like your higher self. If that's not solid and secure as the foundation, every other relationship and partnership will crumble. It's like building a house on really crappy soil. Partnership starts with you. Are we ready for December? Like what's going to happen in December after that? And this one is upside down. This looks like a little, I think that looks like a bird foot. What's up? Okay. Seriously? Hold the phone. Interesting. December. Protection. Wait, hang on. It's reversed. It's still protection, but reversed. Okay. Interesting. Be thoughtful. Did you guys see this one? So it's reversed. Be thoughtful about your health and do not add to the burdens others are carrying. Interesting. Look carefully at the associations you form at this time. Look carefully at the associations you form at this time. I like to say, what are you making it mean? So that's what that says to me. Like, what associations are you making? What are you making something mean in whatever situation? And be thoughtful about your health and your personal health, and not adding the burdens others are carrying. Not to add to the burdens others are carrying. Okay, so if you see fit to become involved with people who are using you, this is interesting. If you see fit to become involved with people who are using you, remain conscious of that fact and take responsibility for your own position. Then you can only benefit. I mean, that's bringing conscious awareness to everything, right? So getting into the observer position, not putting yourself as the perspective of the victim should anything happen, but knowing willingly. So this is where discernment is going to come in really powerfully, right? Because it's like somebody might be trying to use you. They can only use you if you let them use you, right? So it's kind of like, I always see everything as a chess game, even though I don't know how to play chess. But whenever I see something in my head, I see like I see reality, like multiple realities. There's like 5 layers of different realities, and each one is a chess game. So if you move a chess piece here, then how is that going? Like, they're all playing at the same time. So if you move one chess piece here, how is that going to affect the other 4 games, right? So just think about it as a chess game and not put yourself into a victim mindset no matter what's taking place, right? So if you feel like somebody's using you, remain conscious of that fact and take responsibility for your own position. If you're taking responsibility, you can't ever be in victim position. That's when you can only benefit. Okay. And yet, regardless of whether your enterprise prospers or suffers, do not be overly concerned. You may not win, but you will never lose, for you can always learn from what takes place. So there's going to be some lessons in December. Temperance, and courtesy of this rune's protective, are the keys. Temperance and courtesy are the keys of this rune's protective powers. That's the ending of 2019. That was December. Did that resonate? How do you guys feel about that? I mean, I guess, you can come back and watch this video every month and see how it's going. And then we go into 2020. Do you want me to pull one for January of 2020? Is that what we're doing? Gosh, where does the time go? Let's pull one for 2020. Hold it. Yes, we got hearts. Cool. Hey, Holly. Interesting. This is like the X one, but like a little bit different. And I don't know how to, let me see. Is it, no, it's not upside down. Interesting. Okay. 2020 is about to be a gnarly year. Okay. So this is January of 2020. Necessity and constraint. All right. Wait, hang on. This was right side up, right? Yes. Yes. Okay. The necessity of learning to deal with severe constraint is the lesson. Don't venture out too far. Severe constraint. Okay, hang on. This rune represents the obstacles we create for ourselves. Oh, I remember this one. Ooh, okay. This rune represents the obstacles we create for ourselves as well as those we encounter in the world around us. Both can be equally difficult to handle. So I'm a believer that if we take on that we are the creators of our reality, that and in that power / responsibility, whatever is happening outside of us on some level, we have created it within, right? The outside is the echo of whatever we feel and experience within. So if you're experiencing obstacles outside of you, then it's because there's some level of an obstacle within. So it's like you might set a positive intention for something and have every like open-hearted, like full clarity towards that. And then the minute that you allow, if you haven't like done the work to really reprogram or delete those past fears or beliefs or whatever it is, right? Those are immediately going to come in and get in the way of that clarity and that forward momentum and that positive intention. And so if that's the internal aspect of like what a speed bump would look like, right? So you're creating like, oh, this positive clarity. And then you're like, oh, past, and then bring it in front of you. And then you have to like try to get over it or try to get through it. Then that energetic within you is going to create an external obstacle, speed bump, or whatever, right? And however that's going to look. So when it says it represents the obstacles that we create ourselves, as well as those we encounter in the world around us. It's like January, which, yeah, we're going to go into this time of, I mean, that's where everybody sets New Year's resolutions, right? And then they fall off like 2 months later. But they, like, everybody's going to be so focused on their plans and goals for the year ahead, right? And so if you're not aware and mindful and conscious, you're going to let those past aspects create obstacles again for you in the middle of that flow of like forward momentum and clarity for January, right? So it's just telling you to sort of like be mindful of those obstacles and to not create those. It's like, do the work before 2020 or January, right? Okay. Let's see. Both can be equally difficult to handle. The role of this rune. I love it when. Okay. There's always like some little visitor that likes to, I don't always acknowledge them, but there's always like some little like energetic visitor that likes to like show up like behind the light. Okay. We're just going to like acknowledge that and leave that there for right now. I'll have a conversation about it later. Okay. So the role of this rune is to identify our shadow. Hello, right? Our dark, our repressed side, places where growth has been stunted, resulting in weakness that are often projected onto others. So if we're talking about the relationships in, what was it? November, your relationship with yourself and your union, right? With yes, self and others. If you don't do your shadow work, you're going to project that shit on other people. Can we stop doing that? Like, it's not that difficult to like dive into your shadow. I promise it feels so much better on the other side. It really does. Like, we all need to just like cut the ego that it's like scary to do the work or that it's like hard to do the work. It's not even work. It like gets way more fun. You get to have better love. It's way more, it's awesome. Okay. I don't know why I'm laughing so hard on this. Okay. So the purpose of this in January, identify the shadow, basically so it doesn't fuck you up again. Okay. Our dark side, our repressed side, so it doesn't fuck you up again and everybody else. Places where growth has been stunted, resulting in weaknesses that are often projected onto others. Okay. It's like vomit. Like, we need to just stop vomiting onto other people. Like, nobody wants that anymore. We're done with that. Because people will like vomit on you. Have you ever noticed that? They'll like vomit and then you try to call them out on it and then they start like defending themselves and they don't even want to like be able to clear it. They're just so in the space of like, I didn't vomit on you. You're like, pretty sure I'm covered in vomit. Okay. Don't take this world too personally. I love that that's like in italics right now, for real. Don't take this world too personally, or yourself for that matter. This rune is saying, work with the shadow, examine what it is in your nature that attracts hardship or misfortune into your life. Like, basically, you're doing it. If there's fucking drama, you're doing it. If there's like conflict happening on some level, you're doing it. Yes, it takes two people to do that. So then they're doing it and you're doing it. Everybody's wrong and right at the same time. Let's not get into the right wrong game. Okay. And at the like, you're doing it. Do you want to take like, when it's so much easier to blame? It's so much easier to play the blame game on everybody else, right? On something else, on Mercury retrograde, on the fucking planets, like whatever. But it's not. It's actually harder because it creates tension. It creates sticky. It creates like walls. It creates like heart blocks. It creates stagnation and suppression. It's just, it creates no fun. Your inner child not having fun. Nobody's having fun in that. So when we can actually like take our power, like that's the definition. Taking responsibility is the definition of reclaiming your power. So when we're all saying, it's just a different terminology. When we're all saying like, I want to reclaim my power. And yet then we say, oh, but I don't want to take responsibility. Like it's the same thing. It's the same exact meaning. Okay. So work with the shadow. Examine what it is in your nature that is attracting the hardships or the misfortune in your life. If you're still attracting toxic relationships, what is it going on that is having you attract that? I had to get really super clear on like the victim role that I was playing that was having me attract toxic relationships. You got to own it. If you can't own it and then laugh at it because we're all weird and fucked up, that's the real problem. We don't laugh at ourselves, right? Which it's saying, don't take yourself so personally, or don't take the world so personally. Don't take yourself so personally. Okay. So when you can do that, when at last you look upon this ruin of constraint with a smile, with laughing, hello, you will recognize the troubles, the denials, and the setbacks of your life as teachers, guides, and allies. Exactly. The need for restraint is unquestionable here. Drawing this ruin indicates that there may well be holdups and reasons to reconsider your plans carefully. So if something is slow in your life, if you're getting like frustrated, like how come it's not working, or how come it's not going fast enough, or how come it's like, like you're just getting frustrated about whatever that is, like consider that there is a divine timing for you, and that like think about it as like a baby, right? Like if you're still prepping how you want your intentions to play out, and how like creating a true heart-based positive intention so that you don't fuck it up, like, wouldn't you rather like take that time and take that patience so that it can truly like grow in everything before it's ready? It's like you don't take cookies out of the cookie oven before they're ready, because then it's just dough and no, right? We're not eating dough. You're just going to get a stomachache. Birthing a child, that baby's not coming until it's ready to come. You don't force a baby out of the womb until it's ready. So like I don't know who this is for right now, but if there's like frustration and how come it's not happening fast enough, or right, that like impatience aspect, like let it be. I'm pretty sure patience was somewhere else in one of these other runs, right? But like remember that it's like a baby and allow the process that needs to be, so that it can be the most perfect aspect. Maybe you've been getting in your own way. Maybe you've been bringing your past elements into your present. And if you were going to put the energy of that and then bring that out of the oven, it's going to like be some really shitty cookies. Nobody's going to like those. You're not going to want to eat those. Allow yourself the time, remembering that you, with that connection to your divine highest self, which you got to get connected with that, reconnected, trusting that higher aspect of you knows so much better than this thing that thinks it's got its own different timeline. That's the all-seeing eye that can see above and further than this thing, right? Well, this thing, right? Yes, 100%. Okay. The need for resistance is questionable here. Unquestionable, right? Like, don't try to force something. Just let it, like, just, you're always on time. You're always on time. Even when you think that you're late, you're always on time. There's no such thing as like not being on time. If you really truly think about it, there's no such thing as not being on time. Not even the whole like time doesn't exist. Like I don't even care about that. I'm saying you are on your own path that is being guided by the higher version of you. So there would technically be no such thing as not being on time. You just think that you're not, because this thing thinks that it's not. But the higher version of you is like, what are you tripping on? Like, you're good. Calm down. Take that 10 down to a like -2. You're solid. Okay. Spot on, Runes. Yes. Okay. And this is for January. So right when you historical volume, you know what I mean? Okay, so drawing this rune indicates that there may well be holdups and reasons to consider that you're to reconsider your plans carefully. Okay, perfect. I think I read that sentence. And remember, it is kind of like if things are going too fast, you skip corners, you miss things. You cut like things wouldn't always be as precise, right? So when you're kind of, again, when you're going in that like balanced ebb and flow and you're taking your time with things and you're trusting that you're on time with things, then you can look at everything from a full conscious perspective and not this sort of fight or flight perspective. You're just like, everything's good. Okay, is this good? Like you'll be able to like cross the T's and dot the I's, like, and make sure that everything is set up. You can reevaluate everything, right? It's like set it and then make sure that it's set. Solid. Good. Yes, we got hearts on that. Okay, so clearly there is, right? Clearly there is work to be done on yourself. Don't let your past mess you up. That may be the other reason why it's slowing you down, because you're your own worst enemy at that point. If you're still letting your past dictate, it's like your highest version isn't going to let you move forward until you get clear on your past shit, because you'll fuck it up for yourself, right? So there's a reason. So get clear, or clearly, there is work to be done on yourself. So take it on with good humor, laugh at yourself all the time, and show perseverance. So it says keep going. It doesn't say, oh God, this is a sign it's not supposed to work. Don't let speed bumps and all that stuff like tell you that you're not supposed to be doing something. Keep going with perseverance, right? This is a time to pay off all debts, to restore, if not in harmony, at least balance. If not harmony, at least balance. So mend, restore, and redress. It says when fishermen can't go to sea, they repair nets. Like, again, go back, cross all the T's, dot all the I's, like make sure that everything is prepped for you to like get it ready to then, right? Like I love Abraham Hicks. She's like, you're getting ready to be ready. I love it. Okay, so yes, what else can you do? If you can't go fishing, what nets can you repair? Let the constraints of time serve you in writing your relationships, like writing your relationships to yourself. Should I read it again? Let the constraints of the time serve you in writing your relationship to yourself. Be mindful that rectification must come before progress. You can't move until it's right. And as always, consider the uses of adversity. That's January. That's October, November, December, and January. Did that resonate with you guys? And perfect timing. Look at that. Always back to self. Exactly. Always, always, always. Awesome. I love you guys. Thanks for jumping on one day later. Next week, we will be back at the regular time of Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You guys are all badasses. I love that you're always showing up to Soul Circle. I love that you're always showing up and like you're in the middle of this and you're up for like doing the work, which is play and adventure, right? In self-discovery and self-love. Do you guys love the ruins? Do we love these? Awesome. Love that. So Power Becoming is still going on, but just a quick little shout out, you guys, if you want to book sessions, you know how to get there from the website, all of that fun stuff. So when you guys really want clarity on releasing, having those tangible, practical tools on releasing all of that junk that's getting in the way and creating all those speed bumps, either DM me, let's see, where you're at and what's going on, or you guys can book sessions on the website. And remember too, if you haven't downloaded my 7 steps to writing a new love story, that's available in the link in my bio as well. So super helpful. Awesome. I love you guys. See you on Tuesday for Soul Circle at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Have a good night, loves. Bye. Bye, YouTube.